What's good, everyone? Aggie Coach here. All right, man, you guys have been asking for it, so now I am going to go ahead and do it. All right, so I have been getting a lot of questions about defensive schemes and offensive schemes using the FAT8 rule system. And I got a really good question. One question was, how far can you actually go defensively or offensively in simulating real life defense and real life offense? So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start by doing a whole new series, right? All about the FAT8 rule system. This is gonna be a two-part series. So it's gonna be a series of videos. This particular series, I'm going to begin with defensive schemes in the FAT8 rule system, and I'm gonna just show you guys how far I have been able to go. I want you to keep in mind, I'm going to make a little disclaimer here. Keep in mind, guys, that these are not real people, even though, I treat them as athletes and I try to go as far as I can go, but you have to keep in mind that these are not real people. So there's just certain things that they can't do, right? But what we can do is try to, as best as possible, try to get as close as we possibly can with what we have. Okay. So, you're limited by your own imagination. And you're also limited by what it is that you can do with the figures and the fact that they're not real life figures. Okay. So I'm going to just put that out there. We all know that. However, I'm going to also say this. This is all about the fun, right? And I asked this question. It's important that you enjoy being the coach, right? Try not to be the player so much. Enjoy being the coach. You need to be enjoying setting up your plays and challenging yourself, especially if you're playing solitaire, and call it down the middle, right? Try not to be partial to one team over the other. Try to call it down the middle and really, really use offensive and defensive schemes, right? So what I'm going to do in this series of videos, and sorry for this long introduction, I know I'm 2 minutes in, but I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. All right, so this is the first video. So for the whole month of December, I am going to be doing this very first series, defensive schemes in the FAT8 rule system. How far can we go? All right, so let's begin. So we're going to begin with the 43 defense, right? And so the very first thing that we're going to do, I want you to keep in mind, in the 43, you have 4 down linemen and you have 3 linebackers. That's what that means. Okay. Now, what I'm doing now, there's a lot that you can do with your secondary. In this case, I'm going cover 2. That means that I have 2 safeties in the back. I have a strong safety and a free safety, providing the umbrella, right? And keeping everything else in front of them. So now, to do defensive schemes, the way that I do it in the FAT8 rule system, you're going to need 3 stationary bases. That means that these bases do not move forward. Okay, there's a reason for that, because defenses do this thing called read and react, right? So that means that the linebackers, for example, need to be able to stunt. They need to be able to play zone. You need to be able to mix zone and run. You need to be able to play the gap. So you need to know A, B, and C gap, right? So you need to understand these dynamics, right? So in this first video, I am going to show you in a base 4-3 defense, which you can see here, 4-3 cover 2. I have one cornerback, my cornerback down here closest to the screen. This cornerback is playing 8 yards off the ball. Okay, I have him sit back 8 yards off the ball. He's going to come up and he's going to take the slant away from the receiver. Okay, so this receiver might want to use this space here, right? Or use this space across the middle to make a quick pass, a quick reception. So what you're going to do is you're going to put him 8 by 1. So you're going to put him 8 yards back and you're going to move him 1 yard in. Okay? 8 yards back, 1 yard in. And then all we're going to do is slightly slant him towards that receiver. Okay? That's it. That's very easy. Okay? The cornerback on the far side of the field, I have him 4 yards deep, but I have him 1 yard outside the receiver. So we are giving the receiver the inside position in this particular scheme. So right now I'm just laying the scheme out for you so you can see. I'm giving the receiver the inside position. I'm taking the sideline away from the receiver so he can't run a deep route on me. The safety's responsibility is inside out. So the safety is going to play anything that gets past that cornerback. In this case, the cornerback is going to be playing zone. So that means the cornerback has that third of the field. So when you think about the thirds, you have 1, 2, which is the middle, 3. So that's what I mean by third. So that cornerback is going to be playing zone on that side of the field. He's simply going to backpedal and look for anything that comes into his zone. Okay? And then the linebackers are going to be playing man up, right? For right now. Okay? So I'm going to have the linebackers collapsing down. All right? Just so you can see in this very first scheme how this plays out. Okay. We don't know what the offense is going to do. So let's see what happens with the defense. So we're going to go ahead and do our snap. All right. We did our snap. Now, in this particular scheme, let's look at what happened. As you can see, the free safety up here at the top of the screen, he backed up, right? So the free safety is playing that open zone. And as you can see, the cornerback also took a step back. So right now, they're kind of shielding, they're kind of funneling this receiver towards the middle of the field because they don't want to give him the advantage of being able to hug the sideline and go for the deep ball. Okay. Now, the middle linebacker took a step back, so he's playing the middle of the field. So that third is covered. So you can see what's happening, right? And so now over here, notice that this cornerback, the closest cornerback, who was 8x1, this cornerback came up and he took the inside position away from the wide receiver. So this wide receiver no longer has the slant. So in real life, if this wide receiver had taken that one outside step and tried to bounce it to the inside, so if I simulate that now by turning him to the inside, as you can see, he no longer has the inside position for that slant. So that slant has been effectively neutralized. That has been taken away from that receiver. Okay, so that's the reason that we do that. So defensively, you see what's happening here. We're running man up with the linebackers and we're running zone, right? So I got one linebacker playing the middle third, right? I got my cornerback coming up, taking the inside position away. That frees up my outside linebacker and my free safety, right? So now anything that comes over here, they got that covered in the first third, right? And now on the far side of the field, my cornerback, who is backpedaling instead of playing up, he is taking the skinny post away. He's also taking, he's funneling, he's actually allowing the post to come across the middle because that free safety over here, my free safety over here and my Mike backer can pick it up. So that should take that away. No deep passes on that side of the field. So that's what's happening in this particular scheme. We're playing zone on one side of the field, and we're playing man-to-man coverage on the other side of the field. So you can see how complex this can be. So now the quarterback now has to make a decision. If it's a run play, you're gonna have your linebackers just collapse down and just clog everything up. As an example, so we'll do this as an example. So let's say it is a run play. So let's go ahead and set up our blocks. So I'm going to have this tight end block down on my defensive end. I'm going to have this guard pivot, try to come pick up the linebacker. And let's have this guard try to go pick up the middle linebacker. So let's say it's a run play. Now, the defense doesn't know that it's run, so I'm not going to pull the defense out of their scheme right now. I'm going to leave the defense where they are, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and have my wide receivers run the route. I didn't intend for him to run the slant because that slant has been taken away. It has been neutralized, right? So the cornerback now is going to have to go and run with this receiver. So let's see what happens here. We're going to have our safety for right now come out here and pick up what he's perceiving as a possible deep ball. Okay. I don't want my outside linebacker to get tied up in the wash. So right now he's going to play the outside. He's going to play the flat. And this was the part that I was talking about. I want my middle linebacker playing the middle of the field, and I don't want him dropping back too much. So that is what the stationary base comes in. So what we're going to do, now I know that this looks like a lot, guys. I know that it looks like a lot. I put the referee in this place because I don't want to lose his spot. I'm putting a stationary base on him now, and I'm going to put him right back where he is. Keep his base nearby, okay? Because I want him playing exactly where he's supposed to be playing. Now, when I'm actually doing games, all of this is going on, but you guys don't see it because I'm not showing it to you. But you can see how far this can actually go. So now let's have our quarterback go ahead and do the handoff. All right, so here is the handoff. So we're going to say for now it's a running play. So look at what has happened here. So we got this cornerback came over here. He covered the wide receiver. Notice that right now he's not holding the wide receiver at the line. They did make a little contact. But I got the free safety, so I'm double covering this guy here. The tight end got caught up in the wash right here, which is what we want. Look at how they're collapsing the run. Now what's going to happen is my middle linebacker right now, who stays stationary because he's looking, right? So he's looking for run first, pass second. I'm going to pull him off of his base now, off of his stationary base, because you only can have it on there for one bump on the board, either at the snap or at read and react, right? So he is ready to now react to what he's seeing. Okay. Notice at the top of the screen how that cornerback completely took away the outside position for that wide receiver. He completely took it away, and the free safety is right there ready to read. So all I need to do now is have my free safety come up because he's ready to come up. This receiver doesn't have any option of coming outside. He has to come inside. So we're going to have him reading to the inside because we don't know. Since it's a run play, so I'm telling you guys it's a run play. Since it is a run play, this receiver's job is to block. So he can either crack down on the middle linebacker and block over here. It's probably better right now for him to just block this cornerback, right? The cornerback now sees that the ball has been handed off to the running back. So the cornerback is now going to come forward along with everybody else. This receiver is going to go ahead and make his block. This is what I was talking about right here. This outside linebacker, he's the one who should make the play. He's the one who should make the tackle. My middle linebacker is going to collapse this gap. He's going to come down in here. The blocking is all set up. And because I played this right, it should be a tackle for a loss. Let's get the quarterback out of there. It should be a tackle for a loss here, simply because this defensive scheme was actually set up pretty good. He's going to have to try to make this block. But they shouldn't get anything out of this. Okay? So let's go ahead and run it. So this is just how this happens. Let's see if he gets tackled. And he is tackled in the backfield for no gain. Just like I said. Right? So that was running this scheme. As you can see, that outside linebacker had outside contained. So the outside linebacker did not allow anything to get outside. The defensive end came up and made the tackle in the backfield. But if you look at how this thing collapsed, look at how it collapsed. So the defense completely collapsed that thing. The guard, everybody got caught up here. The defensive end makes the tackle. The outside linebacker right here turns everything inside, so there's no way for the running back to get to the outside because that cornerback is being blocked, as you can see. He is being blocked, but look at what happened. He took a whole side of the field away. So the free safety is still free and clear. Now, the middle linebacker ended up getting blocked here. So if that outside linebacker had not done his job, and the defensive end was not able to get off that block, once this running back gets through the first layer, he's got three blockers out in front of him, right? So I want to just show you this. If the scheme had not worked correctly and these guys were out of position and he had gotten through here, as you can see, he would have 3 blockers out in front of him, and there is no way that they will be able to stop him. That safety would not be able to stop this guy from busting a big run, right? So 43 running zone and running man. Zone on one side of the field, man on the other side of the field, having one linebacker spying, right? So that's one scheme, right? So that's the end of this video. The next time I'll come back and I will do a video running the 43 against a pass play. This was the 43 against a run. Even doing zone, maintaining that defensive integrity, making sure that my defense is covering the field. Now, this is one of the things that you can do on a scale field. This is another thing I want to point out. This is a scale size field, so it allows a lot of room to have a lot of complexity. I believe you can do this on the smaller fields too. I just haven't tried it before. So, that's up to you guys. You guys can try it out. But this is just some of the things that you can do in the FAT8 rule system defensively, right? We're not really looking at offense right now. We're just looking at the defense. So that's the 43 against a run. Man, zone on one side, cover 2, maintaining the umbrella, spying one linebacker, and that's how it's done. So next video that I'll do another video tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be running the 43 against the pass, and we'll see how that works, right? So I'll show you guys another scheme that you can utilize to try to stop the pass. We're going to do this against different formations as well, all right? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you guys asked me to do some defensive scheme videos and some offensive scheme videos because you want to see how far the FAT8 rule system actually goes. So this was the first video for the FAT8 rule system, the 43 defensive scheme man zone, all right? All right, man, I'll hit you guys back. Don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.